and they go to his room, and she leaves a kiss on his cheek in the dark of the morning. She has slept too long, but she knows her mother won't wake for another 3 hours, and she is running down the street, back to the apartment. And inside, now, a problem is growing. That problem is Ayumi. Ayumi never knows her name is Ayumi because her mother, upon finding out she is pregnant, leaves home, prostrates herself at the door of a hospital, crying out in the midst of labor pains, and signs the baby over to the state, which the state doesn't want, because this baby is a baby with blue eyes and brown skin. And, to make matters worse, this baby is female. No one will want this baby. Some Franciscan nuns, some sisters, take this baby and place it in their orphanage, their brown faces peeking out from behind white habits, brown fingers reaching out of draping white sleeves to push the brown children with blue and green eyes on a merry-go-round painted with faded yellow ducks. And, months later, an American officer comes in with his wife, and this child overhears one of the sisters say, "Loveland." The name like a line of poetry. The child who has poetry in her blood. And this toddler, right as the American officer is walking by, reaches out a tiny 2-year-old hand and touches the arm of his jacket. And he stops walking. He had his eyes on a baby boy on the other side of the room, a strong-haunched Japanese boy. But he stops, and he swivels, and he looks at her. This child with blue eyes and brown skin, a girl. But that doesn't matter. This child is his. Back to America, back to the States with his big-boned, not-so-beautiful blonde wife, and his 3 blonde-haired, blue-eyed, white-skinned natural-borns of 6 and 8 and 10 years old, in a plane back over the Pacific, over California, the McDonald's arches glowing in the sun, which this grown Hafu will remember seeing from the plane, though her own daughter will disavow this, will say that there is no way anyone could possibly see the golden arches from up in a plane, much less a 2-year-old. And they speed over the Mojave with its yipping coyotes and endless dust, and they land in another desert, in Tucson. A place without castles, but with chrysanthemums on graves, just for different, less atomic reasons. And let's say that she is the only brown-skinned girl in any bassinet in that residential development in 1953, Anno Domini, the only brown-skinned, blue-eyed girl riding her bicycle down War Bonnet Lane, hair pigtailed in the way that makes everyone think she is Navajo. Whatever she is, they know she isn't white, which means that she doesn't fit into this world of McDonald's arches and cosmopolitan, though by her 12th birthday, the neighborhood recognizes that she is undeniably beautiful. A petite girl, yet like her wriggly-boned birth mother all legs, with petite freckles, a petite nose, and a petite frame forged in bronze. Bronze, a shade that has become culturally desirable, as long as the shade isn't black, more alluring than the pasty skin of her adopted mother, her varicose veins hidden under tan nylons. She will learn that her beauty is a problem, that this is not something her mother can suffer, and her father will be oblivious. He now promoted to brigadier general, always off in a hushed room with a group of men in pressed suits. And her bigger brothers will protect her from these abuses, sometimes. And she sews the holes in their jeans for them because she loves them, and they are not a wealthy family, military, unlike, but also like her family in Japan, who she will never know. They aren't really her family either. Cybil and boys. She discovers boys, rides on the backs of their motorcycles, sneaks out and eats mole in Mexican dives on the south side, and people still think she is Navajo, but they don't care, because she is foxy, and perhaps more importantly, she has something to say. She devours Friedan and Reese and Plath, and boys, at least at first, cannot help but fall at her feet, especially in those bell-bottoms.